This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
For a while, I wonder what we're going to be talking a lot about today, right? It's yesterday I was on Twitter, and it's, you know, we went through this for a few years now, right? The discussion of the people kneeling and what they're kneeling for, and everybody's got a different definition for it, and people want convenience at their time. They want you to know. They don't want you to protest on their time. They want you to protest somewhere conveniently that apparently, you know, because it bothers them that much. You know what I mean? And I just find it hilarious that you look around a stadium and there's a guy picking his nose, another guy checking his phone, trying to place a last-minute bet before the game, two other women talking, some guy getting a hot dog or a beer, another guy taking a leak, another person is out on the concourse smoking. All of this is going on during the national anthem in every game. And all of you are sitting at home in your seats while you're watching the game, listening and watching the national anthem. I love how all this so-called disrespect is going on, and yet we're going to get all crazy about a group of individuals who are protesting, who are actually fighting for something. You know what I mean? And look, one of the things that I want to remind all of you out there about this is the flag is for everybody, right? It stands for all Americans. But what that kneeling is doing is telling you that that flag is not fighting for all Americans. That's what African Americans are trying to tell people. They're trying to scream from every top of every building and every mountain that they are being mistreated. So while it may look great for you because you're white and they don't actually do the drive while white thing, you know what I'm saying? And if you're walking in a neighborhood that apparently is not normally your color, a cop will drive by and probably stop you because you're black while walking. You don't live that. I don't live that. And then you watched on television a guy get choked out and die right in front of you. I mean, if it wasn't enough for you a year and a half ago or two, I think it was the gentleman on Facebook Live that they shot him down in front of everybody. What the black community is telling you when they kneel, when athletes are kneeling during the national anthem, they're telling you that that flag is not equal for everybody, that there's something wrong right now under that flag. That's what that reminder is. And again, we have to have this conversation over and over again. Protests aren't done at a convenient time. They never have been. They never will be. That's the idea. When are we going to protest? We have to protest at a time that will bring attention to our cause. And guess how white America basically responded the first couple of years? You're evil. You're not supposed to do this. This is un-American. Get off your knee. You didn't bother to go, okay, so what are the issues? Explain to us. Let's help. Let's see. Let's battle it together. Instead of trying to understand what's going on, you're just combative and worried about your stance on it. And you're not worried about see, think about this. You're just worried about a national anthem, right? and you're not worried about lives dying. And when Drew Brees put out that statement yesterday, okay, that's basically what he was telling the black community. Meanwhile, the black community is screaming, telling you there's a major problem. Fathers and mothers have to have a conversation with their kids that you and I don't have to have. And there's video proof everywhere, dude. You see white people acting crazy all the time, and the cops give them all kinds of breaks. If it's the same acting crazy and you're black, they beat the crap out of you. I mean, that scene of that white dude coming at him with the knife and all that, and they did nothing. I don't know if you watched that video from, I think it was last week. I mean, you look at it, and just elementary tells you if that dude was black, they would have taken the knife away eventually, and they would have beat the living crap out of him. And look, I'm not telling you that cops don't get out of line with everybody else. It happens, of course. Bad cops are bad cops. Well, we got some audio of a former deputy that we're going to play for you on the show here in a little while. And, you know, when you hear this woman, remember the story I told you a couple days ago? A small reason why our police departments are screwed up all over the country. Everybody at one point or another knows somebody, has seen somebody, is acquainted with somebody, is a family member with somebody that became a cop. And you're like, huh? Okay? In every lifetime it happens. John, that ever happened to you in your lifetime? Yeah, he didn't even bother. Like there was no hesitation. He was like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I've run into that. Yeah. It's an example. And John was talking about it before. They can try to weed out the racist, but they're not going to tell you they're racist. Which is true. You know? So you got to figure it out. That's why I'm saying the people inside, the good cops, the ones that are working with some of these cops. Okay, notice when Poherence pushes the girl down. Then you've got the black female officer that literally chases his ass all the way down. And then she gets to a point where she hangs a hard right and walks away from him. And she walks away from everything. Why? Because she's really smart. Because she knew she was on the brink of losing it. She's on camera. It's going to hurt her. It's clearly going to hurt him. It's going to look bad on the entire department. So she, in all of this chaos, God bless her, man. She's a better person than I am. She chose the highest road you can possibly take at that moment.
I think her name was Officer Wilson.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, so I don't want to throw a name out, and I'm not sure. So, but credit to her, how she composed herself after that. And then, you know, she decided, like, you know what's best for me? To disappear. And she disappeared. And she did the smart thing. Right? Because she goes back out to the crowd. You know the media is going to see it, and she's going to get asked questions. I'm sure they've already tried to track her down at this point. Right? I mean, isn't that an automatic right now? Guaranteed they've already tried to track her down to ask her. And she's probably, looks to me like she's really smart, probably has avoided all of this. She's like a big-time team player. And that's the problem also. There's no more team player anymore if you're a police officer. Because all the good work you're doing is going to get all shot down by the few idiots that you have on the force. And I truly believe it's only a few idiots. But they're loud. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Like what we had happen in Charlottesville a couple of years back, that's not the majority of the country, but you have those white supremacists, those kind of folks. You know what I mean? And they're loud. They're they're a tiny minority of our country, but they're loud. And with social media now, your voice can easily be heard by many. You don't have to have 5 million followers at times. There are things you can do, and you know it, and I know it, and everybody knows it. The word is called viral. And you can do things that go viral, and then everybody finds out about it. Except for Bill, who's not really on social media. But anyway, so this is, you got to understand that the message that's being sent with that knee, it's not about anything that you may think it's about. Not about the military, not about the flag. It's a timely protest, like every one that's ever existed. And remember, folks, that's as American as the flag, protesting. Because that's the idea. They're trying to send a message that people don't want to listen. That's the thing. Think about this. You're more worried about standing up for the flag than people getting killed. Because in the end, you got people in the stands picking their nose. You got people in the stands taking pictures during the national anthem. They're doing all kinds of stupid things. You got 2 women gossiping during the national anthem. You got some dude that didn't take off his hat. We're not policing any of that. We don't point them out. We don't call them out. We don't show any kind of disgust. And now we're going to get all bent out of shape because somebody's protesting? How about taking a minute to understand what the protest is about? Because you're actually more worried about somebody standing than somebody dying. And the people that actually defended that flag and fought for that flag fought for the rights to protest. Everything that they're doing, that's what they fought for. It wasn't that we're fighting so everybody stands during the national anthem because that's the law. Oh, it's not actually. That's for the military. When they're in uniform. There's no real law because if there was, your ass is always sitting down in the living room every time the national anthem comes on. Nobody ever stands in their living room. No, you're bull crapping with your friends. You're arguing with your buddy. You're laying a bet. You're running over to take a leak in the bathroom. That's what you're doing during the national anthem. During the national anthem, you guys are doing all kinds of other things in your house. Because you know what? You'd rather take a leak during the national anthem than during the kickoff. You'd rather go get that beer during the national anthem than during the kickoff. Okay? So, for all this hypocritical point of view that we got going on out there, nobody gets all bent out of shape for all of that. None of you are going over to the 2 women that you see talking to each other 6 rows in front of you, and you don't tap them in the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, can you ladies shut up? The national anthem's going on." Nobody does that.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. The shot that they always show of Colin Kaepernick, like on one knee, the one that's mostly shown. If you notice, one of the San Francisco players is back there by the fan messing around with, I think, one of the Gatorade bottles. Like, at least Kaepernick is acknowledging that this is going on. Yeah. Like, exactly what you're talking about. There's a guy in the back, like, he's got his back to the scene, and he's playing with the fan.
And kneeling, since the beginning of time, is not a disrespectful motion. The Green Beret told Kaepernick, "Don't sit. That would be disrespectful. Kneel, because that's your protest, but it's still in a respectful manner because you've been kneeling for gods. You've been kneeling for kings and queens. You kneel for, when you get knighted and all those kind of things. You kneel when you're getting married. Kneeling, you kneel when you pray. Kneeling is not an offensive act in any way, shape, or form. It's a way of also showing, some praise, some honor too. at the same time. But again, let's all get bent out of shape. Not all, some. Let's all get bent out of shape about a protest. You know, it's a message. You know what I mean?